Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to
That doesn't sound good.
another episode of the TepTalks.
Yep.
It's been a long time.
TepTalks. Tippy.
It's been a very long time since we've decided to sit down.
It hasn't been that long.
It's been like a month, maybe.
That's not a very long time.
Depends on your perspective, which is one of the things we're going to talk about today is perspective. And
Art.
looking at things from different points of view.
2-point perspective, 3-point perspective,
Maybe even a fourth dimensional perspective.
bird's eye view, worm's eye view.
What we're talking about
Our eye views.
is one thing that's just shrouded
It's not.
in mystery.
It's not shrouded.
It's enveloped. It is enveloped by mystery. It is surrounded in mystery. And we're talking about the Antarctica. Is that how you say it? The Antarctica?
I don't.
The continent
I don't.
of Antarctica.
I don't think you said the.
The Antarctic.
Is it Isn't it Antarctic?
Antarctica. Or as the Germans called it, New Schwabenland. They had a base down there, supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly.
Again, there's a lot of things in this based on conjecture, but the long and short of it,
based on conjecture.
there is evidence.
Mm.
There's strong circumstantial evidence.
Any circumstantial evidence could be strong.
That possibly maybe links to a rumor of a theory of an Antarctic Nazi base that's still in operation.
Governed by aliens.
May or may not be governed by aliens.
It may or may not even exist.
Well, it can't be disproven.
Yeah, it can.
How do you disprove something?
You go to Antarctica and look.
Well, I welcome anyone to go there and try to find out.
All right, then.
That's not the end of the show. The whole theory comes from this one society, which we found out is based upon a book called they're called the Vril.
Yeah, kind of like Mormon.
No, don't mention real religions because people will get offended.
But it's pretty much the same thing.
Well, you had this society called the Vril, made up of women. Now this is supposedly
this is all
true.
fake.
This is supposedly true, possibly. But anyway, the Vril were called the Vril because they got in touch with this force called the Vril. And they were all women with really long hair.
It was like the Earth Pulse.
And the long hair was like antenna,
to
and
the
it helped
Earth
them
Pulse.
Helped them get in touch with the Vril, the energy of the Earth.
The life stream.
And this energy of the Earth gave them instructions to build these UFOs.
Yeah.
Which is why we have these images of Nazi flying saucers.
What? No, we don't.
Boom. Boom, boom.
Those are all
look
drawn.
At all those Nazi look at all those Nazi flying saucers. They're not all drawings. Some of them look like they could be real pictures.
So does Square Enix drawings.
All of this comes from the fact that in 1939, this is when it all begins. This is when you had the establishment of New Schwabenland, also known as New Schwabia.
New Schwabia.
Now,
sounds like some sort of cheap something.
Cheese.
Not cheese. Cheap.
Well,
you can give me some of that New Schwabia cheese.
There's a lot of reports, of captured U-boats where they had this in their manifest and their shipping logs and stuff. There's a big piece of missing time. And they interrogated these people back when interrogation was okay. Enhanced interrogation.
Like waterboarding and nipple shocking.
They probably used like the old school phone book or sack of oranges.
Phone book?
or a light, where they get the light and just put it right up against your face. You tell me,
Phone book.
tell me we're about New Schwabenland,
What did they?
motherfucker.
What did they do with phone books?
Slap phone book, man. I learned that. I learned about phone books in criminal justice class. You just slap them upside the head with a phone book, and it doesn't leave a bruise.
Really?
Yeah. Same with a sack of oranges. Enhanced interrogation is all about not leaving any physical identifiers so they can sue you.
So you hit them with the phone.
Which
book.
I may or may not have learned about when I was a criminal justice major.
They're teaching children this.
Children in college, yeah.
Big man children.
It's criminal justice history.
You used to slap them with. That's why they say I'm gonna throw the book at
They
you.
taught us about this, and they said, "Now don't ever do it." But this is the way to do it. But don't
do it.
Don't do it.
But this is how you do it. Let's talk about this David Bunger.
Okay. David Bunger. This is during.
You can't say his name without laughing.
David Bunger.
David Bunger. David E. Bunger.
So there's a lot of accounts of this guy flying over a part of Antarctica, which is now known as Bunger Hills.
Really?
Yeah. Look it up. It's a place called Bunger. It's a place called Bunger Hills. He flew over it, and he was like, it looks like a land of blue and green lakes and brown hills and an otherwise limitless expanse of ice.
Let's see some pictures of this place.
Okay, here we go. Boom.
That's a drawing.
Boom. I hope I can actually find pictures of it right now. I'm just doing that, assuming I'll find something.
It's just going to be a random picture of Keanu Reeves at this point.
Okay, well, I guess it's really, the more I looked into it, and trust me, I wanted nothing more
than to believe this pack of lies.
Than to believe that there's a base in Antarctica
filled with alien
flying saucers
Hitler
and aliens, and even though it's pretty bad for humanity, it's still interesting.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
It wouldn't be terrible if they're just chilling out down there, doing their own thing.
They wouldn't be just chilling out.
Yeah, maybe they gained some insight and said, it's not
okay to kill humanity.
Let's just chill here in Antarctica and have
rolling
fun.
Brown Hills.
Yep.
Rolling Bunger Hills. There's no one in Antarctica, by the way.
The more I looked into it, the more I found out that if you try to follow this information, it all leads back to a bunch of books written in the 70s, and these weren't academic books at all.
Yeah, they were fictional.
Yeah. They were published as non-fiction books, but they're really, really, really
fictional.
Misleading. I would say misleading, and the equivalent of what we would call today fake news.
Yeah, pretty much.
They just kind of modified the facts to fit an agenda, and then later on, when you refer back to books published in the 70s, the 80s, and have that cited as a source, it looks moderately legit, but it's all built on a pack of lies.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's no Schwabia.
New Schwabenland.
Yeah.
You still don't believe there's no New Schwabenland, but it is a fact. 1939, they did claim that part of the territory. There were U-boats, and the officers of those boats were questioned about transporting Nazi leaders, because there's a lot of Nazi leaders that went missing.
And
if they transported them, specifically the questions were if they transported them to Antarctica.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they ask those questions?
Why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they? Is that the first thing you would think? Just out of the air? Hey, have you happened to been to Antarctica? I think there's something going on there. I don't know if it's Nazi flying UFOs or
aliens,
hollow Earth. There's even a theory that there's a portal to the hollow Earth at both of the poles. Which, if you look at the hollow Earth theory, that's what it says. You've got a portal at the bottom, portal at the top.
The Earth's butthole.
Yeah.
basically.
Yep. And there's supposedly a second sun in the middle of the Earth.
What? You
Yeah,
mean
the
the
hollow.
molten core?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a theory that the Earth's hollow, and
Mole people live under the crust,
mole people's got to live somewhere, right?
I guess.
And I thought it was all bullshit. I thought there wasn't much to it. I've dismissed the story for a long time until, until you thought this was going to be a debunking story, but it's not. There's still crazy shit going on in the Antarctic.
Not alien Nazis, but the Pope went there, or the Patriarch, or
Patriarch.
and some dude named John Kerry. Is that his name? Jerry Kerry?
John Kerry.
John Kerry.
John Kerry.
What's he going to Antarctica for?
I care less about John Kerry going there. He may have just wanted to see some penguins. But the Patriarch...
He was summoning penguins for something. You got the picture. He was doing penguin summoning.
Yeah. As far as facts, because there's a lot of, like everything on the internet nowadays, there's a lot of bullshit that's been infused into the story that's just conjecture,
like that,
based off secondhand accounts that have been modified and then remodified and then reported on.
It's called the bibliocyclopedies.net.
Yeah. That's where I found most of the quote-unquote truth at. But the fact is, and I mean just the facts is overwhelming. The first time in 1,000 years, and this is roughly a year ago now, I think, but for the first time in 1,000 years, the Pope of the Catholic Church and then the Patriarch, the Orthodox, and there's more specific names, but
who cares?
Can't think of them at the time, but it's the first time they met in 1,000 years.
Yeah.
And a short time later, that same Patriarch makes a trip to Antarctica to bless some shrine down there.
It was a penguin ritual. Penguin summoning ritual.
There's something going on in the Antarctic.
Yeah, that's why John Kerry went there.
Wow, you could only make me look up some shit about John Kerry going to the Antarctic. I think that's how you say it, the Antarctic.
The Antarctic?
But it's a whole continent, man. I mean, you got to think, even looking back, there's a lot of valuable information that would be on that piece of land, because at one point it was all part of the same landmass.
That's where you mine the orichalcum.
Could be.
Yeah,
there could be some orichalcum, some adamantite, some mithril.
Yeah, mithril.
There might even be a bunch of dwarves living there.
Yeah, Nazi dwarves. Dwarves would be Nazis, probably.
Dwarves get along pretty well with humans.
Maybe gnomes, Nazi gnomes.
Yeah, gnome Nazis.
Yeah.
Let me think. I lost train of thought thinking about the dwarf and gnome Nazis. I was on to something.
Well, that's what you were talking about. The dwarf and gnome Nazis in the Antarctic that were summoned by aliens and got visited by the Patriarch of the Pope Church.
This is an entire continent that we don't hear a lot about.
Yeah, and John Kerry went down there like last week.
Because supposedly it's incredibly cold. Supposedly.
A wasteland.
Yeah, nothing down there. Inhospitable.
Borderlands.
There's not in other words, no one could give a flying fuck about that place.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
That's like the moon base.
But for a place we don't give a fuck about, there's a lot of rules concerning Antarctica, concerning any flight over Antarctica. Big no-no. You don't fly over that.
Really?
Nope. It's no-fly zone.
Maybe because it's like magnet.
Because it's magnet.
Like magnet.
That's like a magnet.
No,
it's magnetic south.
Just
I
like
guess.
magnet.
Yeah. But that doesn't make as much sense now because you've got GPS. You don't rely on a compass.
Well, it could still like bend the wings of the airplane.
God dang.
Yeah.
What?
Gravity.
It's no, man. There's been flights over the Antarctic. They just don't do them anymore. No, Admiral Byrd flew over the. Well,
No. His diary was bogus.
Yeah, Admiral Byrd.
It was just a crazy
Admiral
old
Byrd, if you
circle.
ever look into this and do research of your own,
He was probably flying over Iceland.
yeah, you'll read a lot about this guy called Admiral Byrd. One in relation to the Hollow Earth theory, one in relation to New Schwabenland and Operation High Jump that supposedly went there a year after World War II to wipe out the base down there, but then they came back.
Because the
Early.
aliens zapped him.
Yeah, and I looked more into that about the aliens zapping them and them missing ships and stuff when they came back. It's a whole bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
All they did was they called the operation off and came back early.
Because they went to Antarctica. There's nothing down there.
There's something
But
down.
penguins.
If the penguins
Maybe
are
there's
down,
like some sort of penguin god. Or some sort of giant space penguin.
we don't hear a lot about it, and
About penguins? We don't.
no, we don't. Only thing we hear about penguins is stupid fucking movies like
Happy Feet.
Happy Feet Part 2,
Yeah, and that other one,
Surf Penguin or some shit like that.
Surf Penguin. I hadn't seen that one.
Yeah, that's like the rip-off movie, I think.
Oh.
Surf Penguin. Yeah, kind of like they had the rip-off movies of all the 3D movies. I'll post those here too. They're pretty funny. But there's something, man. And that's all this video's about.
There's something in Antarctica.
But it ain't Nazi UFOs.
We need to get to the bottom of it.
And if it is, I mean, we can't discount it. You can't discount that there could. I can't discount that there could be a Nazi base there, whatever. But there could just as easily be. You could say that about anything, but you need to have something to back it up.
There could be an American base down there doing
There-
experiments
I'm
on
fairly sure we've got something
igloos.
out there. But you can just as easily say anything's down there. You have to have something, even if it's just bits and pieces. Be up front that it's bits and pieces, and base it on actual facts. The facts that's being reported on several YouTube videos, and I fell for them hook, line, and sinker, man.
Yeah.
You know, at the beginning of the day today, I was all about those Nazi UFOs in Antarctica.
Like, how am I going to convince Flash that there's really Nazi UFOs in Antarctica? Well, you're not.
It really only takes about 20 minutes of looking for legitimate sources to find out that this shit's bogus, man. But at the same time,
John Kerry went down there,
God damn.
and the patriarch of Russia.
Just so happened to go there right after a meeting with the
Yeah.
Pope. Now, there's so much stuff that has been elaborated on that, but if you follow it, there's nothing of substance. Like you can't find where they got this information from. People are just spouting bullshit on the internet, and can you believe it? People are spouting bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, I can believe it.
People are believing this
Watch
bullshit.
our videos.
Well, our videos, we try. Now, we're not perfect. We're not perfect, but we do try. We talk about things that are out there, but at the same time, you can always be assured that we're at least going to take a little bit of time to try to find something tangible.
Yeah, like shadow people.
And if there's nothing tangible, we'll usually tell you that, hey, this is
Bullshit. Like the Mandela effect. Except for that Sinbad thing.
Sinbad thing, yeah. That Sinbad movie, I remember it. But that's pretty much it for today. I mean, pretty much, I say pretty much a lot, but, you know, it pretty much is.
Yep. So
I would say the theme or the purpose of what we brought to you today is don't be afraid to do your own research. I honestly was afraid to do my own research because I was pretty sure within the first 3 minutes what I was going to find.
that it
which
was
is
bullshit.
Jack diddly shit. That being said, there is still something going on in the Antarctic. I mean, if you look up enough of the treaties and the no-fly zone and the fact that the patriarch went there after a historic meeting with the Pope.
And John Kerry.
Yeah, and John Kerry. I don't know why the hell he would go there. Something's going on. And there's something going on that they, which is the mainstream media, isn't telling you about.
Yeah. CNN.
Fake news.
Fox News. It should be called faux news.
Yeah.
Because faux means fake.
Oh, yeah.
Zing.
All right, so it's 20 minutes. That's going to be a shitload of work for us to do, so we're going to wrap this thing up.
Shitload of work for you to do.
We'll see you guys on the flip side. And by the flip side, I mean inside the hollow earth.
Just stop it.
Stop the video.
21 minutes.